In a world where biases and prejudices often cloud our judgment, it's crucial to approach every situation with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Today, we'll explore a powerful story that serves as a poignant reminder of the importance of this mindset. Join us as we uncover the remarkable events that unfolded when a young boy's claim about his father's military service was met with skepticism, only to be proven true in the most unexpected way. It was a seemingly ordinary day in a small town when a young African-American boy found himself in an encounter that would forever change the course of his life. As he walked down the street, a local police officer, who had seen the boy around the neighborhood before, decided to engage in a conversation. The officer, who had likely formed his own preconceptions about the boy, approached him with a condescending tone. "Hey, kid," he said, "I've seen you around here a few times. What's your story?" The boy, unfazed by the officer's demeanor, straightened his posture and replied, "My dad's in the Special Forces, sir." The officer let out a dismissive chuckle. "Oh, really? And what makes you think that?" he asked, clearly skeptical of the boy's claim. The young boy, unwavering in his conviction, responded, "It's true, sir. My dad is a highly trained soldier, and he's part of the Special Forces." The officer's expression shifted from amusement to a mixture of skepticism and annoyance. "Yeah, right," he scoffed. "I bet you're just making that up. Kids like you always think they're tough, but you don't know the first thing about the military." The boy's face fell, and his shoulders slumped slightly. He had hoped that the officer would take him seriously, but it was clear that the man had already made up his mind about the situation. As the exchange continued, the officer's condescending attitude only seemed to intensify. He continued to mock the boy's claim, clearly finding amusement in his dismissal of the child's statement. Unbeknownst to both the officer and the boy, a bystander had been observing the interaction from a distance. This bystander, a well-dressed man in his mid-40s, had been walking down the street when he overheard the exchange. The man, intrigued by the boy's unwavering confidence, decided to intervene. He approached the officer and the boy, clearing his throat to get their attention. "Excuse me, officer," the man said, his voice calm and measured. "I couldn't help but overhear your conversation with this young man. Is there a problem?" The officer, caught off guard by the man's sudden appearance, quickly regained his composure. "No, sir, no problem at all," he said, a hint of unease in his voice. "I was just having a friendly chat with this kid here." The man turned his gaze to the boy, a warm smile on his face. "And what were you telling the officer, young man?" he asked. The boy, sensing a glimmer of hope, straightened his posture once again. "I told him that my dad is in the Special Forces, sir," he said, his voice steady. The man's eyebrows raised slightly, and he turned to the officer. "Is that so?" he asked, his tone neutral. The officer, suddenly feeling the weight of the man's presence, shifted uncomfortably. "Well, I mean, the kid was just making it up, you know," he said, his confidence wavering. The man nodded slowly, then turned to the boy once more. "And what's your father's name, son?" he asked. The boy, emboldened by the man's interest, answered without hesitation. "His name is Sergeant Major John Smith, sir." The man's expression shifted, and a look of recognition flashed across his face. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small leather wallet, which he opened to reveal a military ID. "Well, I'll be," the man said, a hint of amusement in his voice. "It seems your father and I have worked together on several occasions." Sergeant Major Smith is indeed a highly respected member of the Special Forces. The officer's face paled as the man's words sank in. He had clearly misjudged the situation and the boy's claim. The man turned to the officer, his expression now more serious. "I think you owe this young man an apology," he said, his voice firm. The officer, realizing the gravity of his mistake, cleared his throat and turned to the boy. I'm sorry, kid," he said, his words heavy with embarrassment. "I shouldn't have doubted you like that." The boy, his eyes wide with surprise, simply nodded, unsure of how to respond. The man, satisfied with the officer's apology, placed a hand on the boy's shoulder. "You know, son," he said, "your father is a true hero, and I'm proud to call him a colleague and a friend. He's done so much for our country, and I'm sure he's equally proud of you." The boy's face lit up, and a smile spread across his features. "Really? he asked, his voice filled with a mixture of disbelief and joy. The man nodded. Absolutely, he said. Your father is a remarkable man, and I have no doubt that you'll grow up to be just as remarkable. The officer, still reeling from his mistake, stood silently, unsure of how to proceed. The man turned to the officer once more, his expression stern. I hope this has been a learning experience for you, officer, he said. It's important to keep an open mind and not make assumptions about people, especially our youth. They often have more to offer than we give them credit for. The officer, his head bowed, nodded in acknowledgement. You're right, sir, he said, his voice barely above a whisper. The man then turned to the boy, his expression softening. Now, why don't you tell me a bit more about your father? He asked, his tone warm and inviting. The boy, his confidence now fully restored, began to share stories about his father's service, his eyes shining with pride. The man listened intently, asking thoughtful questions and offering words of encouragement. As the conversation unfolded, the officer stood silently, his gaze fixed on the ground. He had learned a valuable lesson that day, one that would stay with him long after the encounter had ended. The man and the boy continued to talk, their interaction a testament to the power of empathy, understanding, and the willingness to see beyond the surface. It was a moment that would leave a lasting impact on all who witnessed it. In the end, the boy walked away with a renewed sense of pride and confidence, knowing that his father's service was truly recognized and respected. The officer, meanwhile, had been humbled, forced to confront his own biases and the importance of keeping an open mind. This story serves as a powerful reminder that we must always strive to see the humanity in one another, regardless of appearances or preconceived notions. It is only through this lens of understanding that we can truly appreciate the depth and complexity of the human experience. As we move forward, let us remember the lessons of this encounter, to approach each situation with empathy, to listen with an open heart, and to celebrate the extraordinary within the ordinary, for it is in these moments of connection and understanding that we find the true power to transform our world, one interaction at a time. If you found this story as inspiring as we did, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Together, we can spread the message of empathy, understanding, and the power of seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary. American fables are all around us, and we're committed to bringing you more of these uplifting tales that remind us of our shared humanity. So, hit that subscribe button and join us on this journey of discovery and enlightenment.